Osborne first reading, The Goose Girl. The Goose Girl, based on a story by the brothers Grimm, retold by Russell Punter, illustrated by King Lang. Once there was a queen with a daughter named Rose. Princess Rose was helpful and kind, and she never broke a promise. Rose had agreed to marry Prince Hal. He lived in a palace far, far away. They had never even met. Today she was going to visit him for the first time. Before Rose left, her mother gave her a magical gift. It's beautiful. It was a singing locket. I can see all that you do. I will be a friend to you. Promise you won't lose it, said the queen. It will protect you. I promise, said Rose. Princess Rose set off with her maid Griselda. Griselda moaned and groaned all the way. Giddy up, you silly nag, she yelled at her horse, Dobbin. Rose was much kinder to her horse, Falada. He wasn't like other horses. Are you okay, boy? Brrr! Fine, thanks, princess. Falada could talk. Princess Rose and Griselda rode all day in the hot sun. At last, they came to a river. I'm so thirsty, Griselda, said Rose. Please, would you get me some water? Get your own, snapped Griselda rudely. But Griselda hadn't packed Rose's cup. I'll have to do without it, thought Rose. So she lay down on the hard ground to drink. If your poor mother only knew, it would break her heart in two. When Princess Rose stood up, oh no! Her locket fell in the river and floated away. I'm going to tell the queen you lost the locket, said Griselda, laughing. Brrr, you sneak! Please, don't do that, said Rose. I promised I'd look after it. Okay, said Griselda, but only if you change clothes with me. All right. So Rose swept her pretty gown for Griselda's scruffy old dress. I'll take your horse too. Brr, ouch! Promise not to tell a living thing we change places, ordered Griselda. I promise. Soon after, they arrived at the prince's palace. Hal rushed up to Griselda. Princess Rose? He said. Yes, lied Griselda. Welcome to our palace. In the great hall, Hal's father, the king, smiled at Rose. And who are you? He asked. She is my maid, lied Griselda once again. I'm fed up with her. Rose wanted to tell the king the truth, but she couldn't break her promise to Griselda. Griselda looked out of the window at Falada. That chatterbox might tell the prince who I really am, she thought.
My old horse is worn out, she said. Get rid of him, Hall.
Are you sure?
And find my lazy mate some work,
Griselda added grandly. She could help Conrad, said the king. He looks after the royal geese.
Yes, she can be a goose girl.
The next morning, Rose and Conrad took the geese to the meadow. On the way, Rose saw Falada tied up in a field.
Poor Falada,
she cried. Grrr, poor princess, said Falada. Conrad had never seen a talking horse before. Oh, that was weird. Why did it call you princess? He asked.
I can't say,
said Rose. At the meadow, Rose untied her hair and began to brush it. Conrad had never seen such golden hair. He tried to snatch a handful. Rose quickly chanted a rhyme. Blow now, gentle wind, I say, blow this goose boy's hat away. Hey! Hey! Conrad chased his hat for miles. When he returned, Rose had tied her hair back. That evening, Conrad went to the king. Do I have to work with that odd girl? He asked. Odd? Conrad told him about the horse and his hat. The next day, the king followed Conrad and Rose. He heard the talking horse. Brr, poor princess! And he saw Conrad's flying hat. Blow now, gentle wind. Not again! That evening, the king looked for Rose. Are you really a princess? He asked. I promised not to tell a living thing, sighed Rose. You could tell this cupboard, said the king. I'll wait outside. Rose climbed into the cupboard and told it her story. The king heard everything.
It all began by the river.
When Rose came out, the king took her to the palace maids. They gave Rose a bubble bath. They did her hair, and they found her a beautiful dress to wear. That night, there was a royal feast. The king sat Rose next to the prince hall. Then Griselda marched in. She didn't recognize Rose.
Who is that?
She snapped.
Get out of my seat!
First, I have a question for you, said the king. How would you punish someone who was cruel, rude, and told lies?
I'd make them live in a stinky pigsty,
said Griselda with a grin. Then that's what we'll do with you, said the king. So Griselda got what she deserved.
Purr! Purr!
And Rose married Prince Hal as promised.
Grrr! Hooray for Rose and Hal!
The Goose Girl was first written down by two brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, about 200 years ago. The Grimm brothers lived in Germany and collected lots of folk tales.